And we should be live. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Live Coding with me, Rachel. I'm Rachel. Hi. Today, we are going to be working even more on our assistant that we've been working on for a little while. So let me pull up our handy-dandy design doc we've been referring to. So the general idea of what we're doing today is that we're continuing to work on, one sec, let me make sure all of this is paused so I don't have any lag due to that. So the general idea of what we're doing today is that we are continuing to work on our Dialect quiz bot, which is based on the New York Times Dialect Survey. And we should be getting the data hopefully pretty soon. So I'm hoping that next Wednesday we can actually do stuff more on the machine learning side of things. And this week we are going to be working instead on improving our assistant because it needs a little loving. We have our first our first pass. It works. Oh, and I did also share the code on GitHub. And if you are watching on YouTube, the link to code should be in the description below. I just checked, it is. And here it is. As you can see, it's not the most well-read of repos, but I did remember to make it public yesterday, so you should be able to check it out. Okay, so there's the code. Here's what we're doing. We're doing a dialect quiz is the idea. So you'll get some questions and you'll answer them like I say y'all. Yeah, I don't know about this. And the what we built so far is a form to take in the information for a little mini excuse me, actually one sec, let me grab some tissues. I just took some antihistamines, but I'm still having the sneezing feeling. So what we've done so far is we've created a basic assistant that has a form. So let's check that out. And the form collects examples of, collects the answers to 3 questions. And the questions are actually in the, where are the text of the questions going to be? Second person purple. I do remember this. I remember this. It's not in the config. It's not in the domain. It's in the NLU. Nope, that's the intents. Stories is the things that are said. I thought it would be in the domain. Clearly, I need more coffee. Anyway, so the 3 questions that you are asked are, what's the small insect, it's not an insect, what's the small bug that can roll up into a little ball is called, at some point in the future we'll probably add a picture there, and what do you say when you're addressing a group of 2 or more people, like, are blank ready to go, and then what do you call a sweet carbonated beverage, so you might say like soda or pop, or Coke. Hello, Anarchy. Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. I don't know about for you. So, hello, welcome. It's getting to be blooming season in Seattle, so this is going to be a rough time for me. And last Wednesday, yes, it's Friday now. Last Wednesday, we also added this custom detect dialect action. So we had our form action, and this goes through and it asks all of the questions that we wanted to ask. And the thing that we added right now doesn't do much. So once you've completed the form, it will say, okay, we think you're from the United States. So it sets this slot dialect that we added to be the United States. And in the future, this will be a little bit more conditional based on the information that we get back. So here we are getting the information from the slot bug. And in the future, we will use that information for all of the different slots to apply our machine learning algorithm. We might do decay nearest neighbors. We might do like an SVM. Actually, honestly, I'm probably going to use XGBoost. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to use XGBoost. I love a good gradient boosting approach. Jay Wood said, from those questions, I know I'm Southern. Hey, me too. And Anarchy says, evening for me. Okay, well, good evening then. And Yasha says, hi, Rachel. Hello, Yasha. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly. And Robbie says, sometimes when I listen to you, I feel like I'm listening to English rap. Yeah, sorry about that. I do, I know I do talk pretty quickly. I think you can actually reduce the speed on YouTube, though, so you can watch the video at, like, half speed. Yeah, it's something that I work on, trying to talk a little bit more slowly. So, to review, that is what we've done so far. Now our model exists, we can interact with it, so let's open up a new terminal. So we can, oh, by the way, I set my default to bash rather than PowerShell. Rasa Shell is the command, I think. And this is going to, when we interact with it, blah, 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 fail to create component, unknown component name, check your configured pipeline, and make sure the component is not misspelled. Oh, interesting. So that would be in config. What does it think is misspelled? Component cases, base loop, featurizer, sparse featurizer, which is not in our pipeline. So that's good. Interesting. I did do some futzing around off screen to get Git set up because I haven't. It's been a while since I've used Git, and it's been a while since I've done anything on Windows for dev work. So, Gabriel says, how can we define a form with 5 variables and make the bot keep asking questions until all 5 are complete? Great question. So the way that you would do that is in actions here. And by creating a form class using the SDK, it will look for all of these slots to be filled, and it won't exit the form action until they've all been filled. And they could be filled with none. So if you, like you ask a question and like somebody answers with an entity you don't recognize, and it's like, well, there wasn't anything there. But all of the required slots that you have in your required slots function will be required. I'm trying to think of a better name for that. And then if you want to actually return all of them, you want to make sure that you add that to the slot mappings. And what you will do, what you would want to change here is the entity. So this would be from entities that you had defined in your, domain. Yes, in your slots here. And also the intents that you want to get it for. So for me, I think they're all going to come from inform intents. But you could also say, I want this from inform, but not from Chitchat, for example. And then it'll just sort of do it automatically, which is why the slots exist. So we could interact with our bot in the command line, but we could also use Rasa X. And let me see if I can get my Rasa X thing back up. Scooch. I need to stop minimizing windows because it's just sort of hard to get them back up. So if you haven't used Rasa X previously, it is free. It's not open source, but it is free to use. A piece of software that once you have like a sort of minimum viable assistant, as it says in the docs, you can use to improve it over time. So having different conversations and making sure that they work. And then as you continue to converse with it and then update your model based on the conversations that you've had, it will continue to get better and better. And then you can, release it to more people. I think today we're probably gonna run it locally, which you kind of shouldn't do. By default, you should run it on a server, and then different people can interact with it on the server and have conversations with your assistant, and you can improve it over time. So that's the idea. And it's really an extension of, I don't know, if you wanted to summarize what NLP has become since the 1960s, instead of learning by rules, so defining a set of rules for what happens, you learn by example, which is sort of the AI revolution, if you will, or better ways of learning from examples or large data sets. And as you increase your data set and you add additional labels, your assistant should improve over time. So that's the idea. And Gabriel says, awesome, I'll experiment with your sample code. Yeah, happy to help. And it should be linked in the YouTube description. Yasha maybe says, most of the people can't say my name right. It's okay. Oh. If you can get the IPA for me, I can give it the old college try. Yeah. And then Anarchy says, who doesn't love good old gradient boosting? I don't know. Probably somebody, but I'm a big fan. It's sort of my go-to these days. All right. And Shashant says, what is the difference between Chitchat and stories? So Chitchat is, I believe, an intent by default. Do we have Chitchat intent? I don't think we have. Yeah. So if there's sort of things that are just like, different chit-chatty sort of things, like conversational things. I know Chitchat is handled differently. Let's see. I'm going to pull the documentation back up. As sort of like a broader task, I'd say that stories are what you will specify specific tasks that your user might want to accomplish. So a story is like something you want them to do, and Chitchat is if they just want to talk to the bot. Yeah. So it sort of acknowledges that the message will be received. Okay, and if you're interested in looking more, and if you're interested in learning more, I would check out rasa.com/doc/rasa/dialogue elements/smalltalk/chitchat. Actually, we can ask Sarah how they handle chitchat. How do you handle chitchat? That is not actually what I mean. How does Chitchat work, maybe? She's still in development. Click the button below if you want to start over. Okay, well, that will be added to the test data and will be used to improve Sarah. Yeah. And Yasha, which again I'm saying incorrectly, says, where are you streaming on YouTube? I am streaming on the Rasa channel, and I will share the link now. So I keep track of both streams. You're welcome to tune in wherever you like. All right, and you can see we also have a sort of a suggestion for dealing with insults as well. And we have gotten sidetracked. That's okay. I don't mind getting sidetracked. But what we wanted to do today was get started with Rasa X. So another reason why you would want to do Rasa X in a server is, I mean, obviously if you're serving it, you don't want to do that from your laptop. But also there is a whole ecosystem around continuous integration and continuous deployment. So if you are updating a chatbot that's live to users and you want to version your work, which you should, then you can do that through Rasa X, but only in server mode. So little, I don't know what that meant. Goodie, I think, like a nice thing that's in Rasa X. So scooch you up over there. And I've been talking about it. Let's launch it. I think it's just Rasa X. I think that should work. All right, excellent. And it has actually opened in a Chrome window for me. So let me zoom in a little bit. I want to maintain and improve existing assistants. Looks like there's an error. I wonder if let's see. There's nothing. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So definitely. There is a model here from Wednesday, and I believe that's the last model we trained. This is the one, so this is the core and the NLU model that we trained, the 31st would have been in the past. And this was the model we trained that had a form but no custom actions, and this one was the one with the form and the custom actions. So let's use this one, and let's try talking to our bot. So I am directly on top of the part where the conversation is happening, so let me scooch this around so you can actually see what's happening. Oh, actually, it would be easier. Whoop. I'm over here now. So let's talk to our bot. Hi. Let's see. It would appear that something has gone wrong. All right, so I did try this with a different project yesterday, and it worked fine. And I'm wondering if the problem is with this particular project. All right, let's see. Let's do some troubleshooting. Robbie says, is there any hashtag RC Tapman chit-chat, like trained on my conversations? I don't think so. Yeah. All right. Perhaps we have launched it in the wrong place in the file. All right. So let's close you. I think previously when it was working, I think it was PowerShell. So fine. Fine, we'll start a new PowerShell. Fine. All right. Let's see if launching Rasa X from here will work. And again, this worked with the project yesterday, so the thing that has changed is me. Directory is not a valid Rasa project, so let's change directory down to the form bot. Okay, so it's launching. It's definitely finding that it's a project. But it looks like it's not. All right, it's popped up. The name TF session was deprecated. Create server was never awaited. Runtime warning. I didn't start an action server. So let's do that. Let's start our action server. Oh, and that's gone forever now. Can I get it back in this window? Yeah, I can. Excellent. Goodbye. What about this one? Also that one, 502, they're on the same connection. Probably don't want those. So let's, and if any of you have run into this problem before and have suggestions, I am open to them. All right, let's kill this terminal. Goodbye. Let's start by Rasa run actions. We'll start by starting an action server and then do Rasa X and see if that'll work. I hope the problem isn't that I am using an older version of Rasa X. Okay, so we have our action endpoint up and running, and let's see if that will make our lives a little bit easier. And we have a trained model, so that shouldn't be the issue, because you can see there's trained models here. All right, it's opened over here. Base event loop create server was never awaited. Runtime warning. Enable trace malloc to get the object allocation trace back. Can't find count vectors featurizer, which I think is the same thing that we were running into when we tried to run in the shell. So this could be a local problem and not a problem with Rasa X. And actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that that is probably actually the case. All right, where is Rasa X in my 80,000 Chrome tabs? There we go. So let's try this one more time. All right, that's not the problem. So it sees the models. That's not the problem. What if I try to upload a model? It might. I've been having trouble with curl because I'm on Windows and it's not a PowerShell thing, and there's a curl alias, but it's not exactly the same as curl, and that's been a big part of my last couple days. I know people develop on Windows and greatly enjoy it, and I would say so far I would not describe my experience as great enjoyment, but all right, let's try updating the pipeline and then retraining our assistant and see if that helps, because as you might have noticed, the assistant did not run in the shell. So we were planning anyway on doing the convert Rasa pipeline. We were planning anyway on updating the pipeline to be convert. And I looked into it, and there's actually, let's pull this up, components, a nice alias for using the convert pipeline. Let's just search for pipeline here. Choosing a pipeline. All right, pre-trained embeddings convert. And we should be able to just say pipeline equals pre-trained embedding convert, and then not use any of the other parts of the pipeline here. So we can probably get rid of all of this. We'll see if this works. And don't worry, I'm using version control. If this spectacularly fails, we can, and we don't need our action endpoint anymore. Goodbye, Bash. And let's try retraining now that we have a new pipeline. No pipeline specified, an unknown pipeline template, pre-trained embeddings convert pass, known pipeline templates, pre-trained embeddings, spacey, keyword, super. Okay, so I was trying to get the version. Let's upgrade first, right? All right, pip upgrade Rasa. Is it update? All right, let's just quickly. I think I have an old version. Interesting. Let's see if we can fix that. Nearman says hi. Hi, Nearman. Pip update package. That is what I want. Thank you. Okay, so it's pip install -- upgrade Rasa. Okay, well, I guess we can just try installing it again. I futzed with a lot of things trying to get the GitHub integration to work, and I'm wondering if one of the things that I did was I downgraded it. So let's see if now it knows about this pipeline. It doesn't. All right. Noted. How to find version of pip installed package. No, I don't want to know the version of pip. I want to know the version of the package installed with pip. Okay, so it's pip show Rasa. 1.2.12. Okay, I think we're in 1.6. Oh, you know what it probably is? Probably when I installed Rasa X, it downgraded Rasa to the previous version. Okay. I'm in dependency hell. Akib says, Rasa X or dialogue flow, which one do you prefer? They're different. I mean, I tend to prefer Rasa X, but I also work for Rasa, so that's perhaps not an entirely unbiased answer. Dialog Flow has lots of really nice points if you aren't comfortable coding. It's, I think, a little bit faster to get started with. It's a little bit less flexible, and also it runs on Google Cloud, and if for some reason you don't want to use a cloud provider for data security or privacy reasons, or you just want to keep stuff on-prem, then I would say Rasa X is the better choice. So it will depend on your particular use case. I will say also, Rasa X is free, and Dialogflow is decidedly not free. Yeah, not that I think it's like priced unfairly or anything, it just costs money. And I think you need a credit card as well, which I know is a blocker for a lot of people. Okay, so I believe the current issue of Rasa is like 1.625 maybe. Rasa GitHub. So I just have the Rasa GitHub open in another. I can bring that over here. Yeah. Yeah, so I mentioned yesterday I was messing around. One of the things I was having trouble with was specifically curling to get specific versions of packages from the thing that's not actually curl, but is alias to curl in PowerShell. So, let's try uninstalling Rasa X, but I didn't install it via pip. PowerShell uninstall package. The uninstall package command. Oh, I can just do this over here as well. I don't know why I keep popping it over there. The uninstall package commandlet uninstalls one or more packages. PowerShell uninstall package. Akib says, how to increase response time in Rasa X. Dialogflow has better response time. That's going to be super variable. I believe it's going to depend on the server that you are using. So if the server is the bottleneck, then faster server, I guess. I will say I'm not really a DevOps person, so I might ask that question on the forum. I think you're likely to get a more useful result. All right, so let's see if this will work. I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's going to work. No, I don't know what nugget is. Okay, so this is slightly frustrating. right, you know what we can do? So instead of doing pre-trained embeddings convert, let's try pre-trained embedding spacey and see if we can get that to work. Because the problem that we were running into was that the pipeline that we were using was not in the version that we were currently using. Pre-trained embeddings spacey. Pre-trained embedding. Oh, I didn't save the file. And I'm also just going to copy and paste because I am paranoid. Okay, so now hopefully we will be able to train a version with spacey that will still work. Please install spacey. All right. Spacey. And if you're not familiar with spacey, it's an open source NLP library that's really focused on enterprise ready uses and being, let me move myself to the other side so you can see the code moving. My sort of default recommendation for people who are like, which NLP library should I use, is if you're building something for your work, probably spacey. If you're building something for research purposes, probably NLTK. NLTK is more sort of like super fine tunable, so if you're messing around with stuff and really need the whole suite of tools that you might need. Need to download the language models. Let's do that, and then we need the medium. So these are different language models. Spacey has a number of different language models. These ones are for English. They also have, I think, like Spanish, French, German, a bunch of options. So that's going to take a second. What was I saying? Oh, so NLTK has like a lot of, not necessarily bells and whistles, but things you can adjust because it was built by researchers for people doing research. Excellent. And I believe I also need to non-zero exit status 1. Well, let's see if we can do Rasa train anyway. And then I will figure out my dependency hell later on, so it should be downloaded. All right, why is it not linked? Couldn't link model to do not have sufficient privilege to perform this operation. Try rerunning the command as an admin or using in a virtual environment. I think I'm in a virtual environment. So let's see if I can use the user tag, maybe? Python user tag command line. So if I were in a Linux environment, I just use sudo, and that's not a thing. Rachel, how frustrated are you with your experience right now? Like a 3. Like I'm a 3 frustrated. And Jay Wood has helpfully said that Nugget, or maybe NuGet, is .NET's pip. Okay, helpful. Not really a framework I have used since high school when we did a course in it. Blah, 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 blah. None of these are helpful. Okay. Well. All right, so let's use a different pipeline that is compatible, has backwards compatibility with 1.2.1, which is, again, like 4 releases. I mean, not even like minor releases, 4 pretty major releases back. I just want to like use Rasa X, and I'm futzing about with version problems. All right. Jay Wood says, "Is it -u?" Oh, let's find out. Maybe. Nope. No, it does not know about that. Yeah. Akib says, please fix the bug of Rasa X in Windows. When we go to interactive learning, talk to chatbot, some intent messages don't show in the reply window, but the story works fine. But it doesn't happen in Linux. Oh, that's good to know. Actually, if you would file a bug report for that, that would be amazing. Or file an issue for it. So, as you can see, I'm struggling to get the Windows versions correct. But if you would file an issue by going to github.com/rajahq/rasa/issues and file a new issue and to talk about that specific problem, Akib, that would be fantastic. And if you have already, then thank you. All right, what was I doing? I'm going to go back and try a different pipeline. Disc105 said it would be simpler if we all just used Linux. Yep, unfortunately, a lot of the streaming software is written for gamers, and it assumes that you are on Windows. So a lot of the stuff I rely on to make the stream look good is all Windows only. I don't know. Maybe I'll... Because I looked into it a while ago. What was I looking up? Rasa pipelines. Actually, let's undo all of these. Let's save this. Let's see what specific component it was giving us problems with. Nope, none of those are right. Rasa train. What specific problem it was giving us, which specific component was giving us trouble, and then we'll just remove that component. Unless it's like the tokenizer, in which case that's going to be a problem. Yeah, so the streaming software I need is Windows specific, and well, I don't need it. And I've looked into the sort of like the workarounds to getting it to work on like a Linux distro if I wanted to dual boot or something, and it's hacky. It's very hacky, but I've encountered a lot of frustration. But also, again, I know people... Did I hit enter? I did not. I know people do develop on Windows, and I want to make sure they have a good experience as well. So, Disc105 says, is it OBS related? Yeah, it's a... so I actually use Streamlabs OBS instead of OBS, because there's a couple features I use that aren't in base OBS, or at least weren't the last time that I checked. OBS runs perfectly fine on Linux. Streamlabs does not. Oh. All right. All right. All right, so let's see if we can run it from the shell. Hi. I mean, I'm going to get an error. Couldn't create message for template utter Greek. Couldn't create message for template utter quiz. Interesting. But it did kind of work, and it seems like we're having problems with the utterances, which we did not in the past. Where do the actual words live is what I'm trying to figure out here. Is it in NLU? I don't think it is, because I think that's all what's passed into NLU. Is it in stories? I don't think it is. I genuinely thought it was in domain. But here I'm seeing the actions, but not like what words the bot should say. And we definitely had it working previously. So let's, Disc105 says, when I stream in Linux using OBS, there are workarounds for some Streamlab things, like a browser-based plugin that allows you to do alerts and stuff. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. And Paritosh. I'm almost certainly saying that wrong, and I apologize. Says you didn't save the domain.yaml file. Thank you. I have saved it now. Where does the utterances come from? Let me see. Foop, 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 foop. I'm just gonna mess around in this window over here in my file system, which I think is fairly boring to look at. Let's see if I can find the other version I have that is working. I'm having a great time. Probably we're gonna do the Rasa X on Wednesday, because I am. We've spent about 40 minutes just futzing around and still not quite getting it to work. So this may be a one of those times that sometimes you just run into a problem and you gotta figure it out. Oh, okay. So I have another. Nope. I want to open it in VS Code. So I have another one here. Okay. So it should be in templates in domain.yaml. And here we have templates. And here we have no templates. So what happened to our templates? Let's check out the GitHub repo. Did it have them when I in an earlier version, perhaps? All right, let's check out GitHub. Format, domain, slots, actions. Okay, so this version does not have templates. Let's check the one from previously. That's a license. Did I have templates here? I'm almost certain I did. What if I want the diff for just this file? Will that, browse the repository at this point in history. Nothing. Will that show me just the differences for just this file? No, it shows me all of them. Browse files. Will this be from the older version? And then it was in the domain. Responses. Okay. Interesting. So looking at the differences here. Slots. Did we not have slots in the other one? And I've lost it. I've lost my there we go. Sorry, I know this is a little bit small. So we had entities, yes, we had slots, and then under the slots we had responses, and then forms. Why did I change this? Why does it look like this now? Interesting. Nkit says, hey, I have one question. Can we call slot value in submit method inside form action? Can we call the slot value in the submit method from the inside the form action? So in the form action in submit, calling the slot value. So you should be able to refer to the slot mappings, I believe, within the submit function. That sounds right to me. I would ask on the forums. I'm also not like 100% sure I'm understanding your question correctly, and that's on me. Yeah. Okay. Well. something very weird happened while I was setting up the GitHub integration clearly. Let's get that back. So we had... All right, so just checking out this beans. I keep clicking on something. So just checking out the differences here. Why did I change all of that? Because this version was definitely working. And I have no idea how to change just one file, how to revert just one file using the like weird desktop plugin I'm using to get GitHub to work. So we're gonna do the weird thing and all right, actions. I'm sure we did delete it at some point, and if I went back and I looked at the video, I would probably see myself doing it. So we're just gonna know that that's a thing. And I believe under actions, we don't actually need to have the utterances. I think we just need to have our custom action. So let's save this and see if that works. So stop our interactive session by typing /stop. Let's try retraining really quick. It's gonna take a second. Cannot access action utter greet as that name is not a registered action for the domain. Okay, so maybe we actually do need all of the actions. And again, I think we have introduced a version mismatch, which is probably going. It's probably even currently like nibbling. All right, nothing changed. You can use the old model. List is an action, but there's no matching utterance template. Okay. Okay, so I think this should be a templates instead of responses. Again, version mismatch. All right, now let's see if we can do Rasa Shell. And I'm just gonna have to go back and fix all this later. I just want to open Rasa X. Hi. Yes, and it's going to immediately respond some errors because I'm not running a server. Oh no, errors, as expected. And lots of errors, and then I can just do /stop. Okay, excellent. I think it should work. And Paratosh says, oh, there's a problem in actions. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, yes. There should be a tab and a tab there, I think, as well. Maybe? Let's see if I can train it again. And if it'll yell at me. Nothing changed. Okay, so it looks like it's actually white space agnostic. Ankit says, thanks, it works. Fantastic. I'm glad I could answer your question. Jay Wood says, you just wanted to revert a file back to origin/master. No, I want to change some lines, but not other lines. And I'm also using this desktop application because I have struggled to get anything else to work. I'm struggling to get this to work as well. All right, so now let's try Rasa Rasa unactions, Rasa run actions. There we go. So we've got our action server, and now I'm going to start a new terminal, and let's see if Rasa X works this time. Please work. Please work. All right. So this like and NumPy mismatch thing is from is because I'm not using the most recent version. So that is to be expected. Oh, it's loading. Okay. And the conversations are stored in these events DB and Rasa DB. So it should know about them. It's taking a while, but I'm okay with that. Let's check out models. Okay, so it knows about our models. There's a model that's active. That's fantastic. That's working as it should. And I'm pretty sure that this broken link is because I have an old version of Rasa X and not the current version of Rasa X where that works. So, because if we just go here, yeah. So the problem seems to be, again, a version mismatch. No conversations yet. Okay. Let's see if we can start talking to it. Oh, and I'll move my head. Whee! I'm over here now. Hi. Pill butt. That's nothing. Okay. Rejected. Default fallback. Interesting. Was Pillbug one of my options? This might be an entity it doesn't know yet. So you can see, well, it's thinking, it is working, which is fantastic. You can see that we are in a form now. So under this affirm action, we have this form action that's been called. And it's starting by requesting the bug slot to be filled. And under here, under slots, you can see requested slot bug. And I think I can flag this as well. Like there's a problem there because it's not understanding that that is the answer to that question, and that should be what goes into that slot. I'm gonna say roly-poly instead because I'm very sure that we have that in our list of entities already. Jwood says, "Oh, this looks nice." Yes, once it works. Once I've gotten my versions correctly installed, it works really good. Yeah, excellent. So you can see the slot has been filled, and now it's requesting a beverage. So what do you call sweet bits carbonated beverage? Let's say soda. And I scrolled up so I didn't have the bottom of it at the bottom. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see that it's all being included in this little slots tab here. Zoom back in so you guys can actually read it. And I would say, are y'all ready to go? It may not include my new intents as well. All right, and execution rejected, default fallback. So it looks like, are we still in the form? Interesting. Can I just stop? I I'd say y'all. Let's see if that'll work. So as you can see, clearly we have some work to do on the spot to allow the forms to be filled a little bit more easily. Yeah, and you can see the slot has been requested, and here it should be filled. So you can see here it does not have the y'all entity extracted, and here it does have the y'all entity extracted, and it looks like our dialect custom action is not working right now. We still have the server running, right? Yeah, so you can see that it failed to extract the slot second person plural. You can't see that, my head's in front of it. Failed to extract slot second person plural with action elicitation form. And my guess, come on back up here. My guess is again that that's because this is we wrote this code for a different version of Rasa than we are currently running the code with. This is not best process. Yeah, so it looks like it's not actually going to give us our custom action. But let's do some interactive learning so we can improve our assistant. And this will probably be the last thing that we do. Howdy. And that is a greet. The next action should be utter greet. And then it should start the dialect quiz. And I don't remember what utter start quiz. There we go. I didn't remember what I'd called that, but I'm pretty sure I called it utter start quiz. And then I want information from the user. And so I'm gonna say listen. So just this is the information that we have so far. So this is what the user said, and this is what the bot is going to do to respond to that. And then I want it to just like listen and wait for the person to say something. Sure. Affirm, that's correct. Excellent. Happy for that to be the assigned intent. And then we should get the form next. So where's the form? Action. Deactivate form. I want to start my form. Did I stop my server? No, my server's still going. Excellent. Next action. I'm looking for the action for the form. Greet, dialect value, check dialect, action revert, fallback events, action restart, action listen, ask affirmation, ask rephrase, deactivate form, action back. Where's my form action? Oh, there we go. I called it elicitation form. So the user's going to go through and get the elicitation form. And I'm going to say fallback. Oh, sorry. And then we're asking the question. We're going to wait for the user. And the user's going to say fallback. And it says the intent is greet, which is incorrect. The intent should be inform. And can I also say that this is, I'm pretty sure I can say that this is a slot. All right, and the next action will be elicitation form. Okay, execution rejected. So let's correct this. Scroll. So it is inform. That's correct. How do I say that this is a slot? Slot request among. Let's actually just try roly-poly, see if that will work better instead, because I don't think it has an example of pill bug. Inform is the correct intent, though. Okay, and then continuing with the form. One sec, just have to block somebody. All right. Execution rejected. I guess I can ask for a rephrase from the person. That might be helpful. And then listen. And then the person can say, I'd say roly poly. Intent and form, that's correct. Anyways, you can go through and have conversations like this, and then use that information. Elicitation form, yep, I still want to keep doing the form. What do you call a sweet carbonated beverage? What do you call a sweet carbonated beverage? And then listening, yes. And then the user would probably say something like Coke. Anyway, so agree. Nope, incorrect. It is inform. And then you can see that it's correctly extracted the Coke elicitation. Sorry, it's extracted the beverage entity and that it is Coke. And then here, you want to listen after you do the elicitation form. Let's mix it up. Let's say, are yins ready to go? Which I would not say, but some people would. Inform, that's correct. And then, yep, we want to continue with the elicitation form. And then we want to... Oh, that still hasn't been filled. So we probably want to continue with the form until all the slots are filled. And then listen. About, are y'all ready to go? To do. So the problem here is with the, it is informed, correct? So the problem here is with the entities rather than the intent classification, because intent classification and entity detection are done separately. So it can correctly detect the intent, but not the entities, and vice versa. And again, we did write this code in a different version than we're currently running it in, so we're gonna run into some difficulties, I imagine. All right, so looking at the slots, we've got the beverage, we've got the roly-poly, we still haven't got the second person plural. So let's try listening again. And here I said, are you all ready to do instead of are you all ready to go, which was the example provided in the training data. Simon says, hi, Rachel. Hi, Simon. And hello. Oh, I'm definitely going to say this wrong. And Akasasuki? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Inform, that's the correct intent. Excellent, 10 out of 10. Did you get the slots? Did you get the slots? It did not. Okay. So I'm going to oh, it's Sasuke. Right. We talked the other day. So I'm gonna let this go for now because again, that's how Rasa X works. I need to I need to fix my version mismatches, and then we can return to this in the future. Next one on Wednesday probably will work on machine learning, and then I will work behind the scenes to fix the problems that I have introduced, and then hopefully we'll have an actual quiz. I'm not sure what's going on with the form here. I mean, I can tell what's going on because it's not identifying the embeddings, not the embeddings. It's not identifying the entities. So the intents are correct, the entities are not. So something for me to work on in the future. Yeah, we will. My hedgehog is digging. That's what that sound is. We will return on Wednesday for hopefully a less frustrating stream where I actually get stuff done instead of spending the whole stream figuring out what's wrong. But that's the general idea. And then you can, as you can see, retrain once you have some additional conversations. And if you're working in server mode, you can actually redeploy. And you'd probably want to redeploy from Rasa X if you're doing like smaller changes, like you're updating an intent or updating an entity or something like that. If you were like redoing the whole conversational flow, probably you'd want to redo that in, via the programming environment that you're using, your IDE, whichever that is. Okay. Suzuki says, is ML actually based on algorithms in math, or is there a programming language for it? If you're asking how I'm going to do it, I'm probably going to use somebody else's implementation of an algorithm, and I'm probably going to use gradient boosting. We'll see. We'll try a couple of things and see what works. All right, so I'm going to call it there. We did get Rasa X up and working. And I was hoping to actually get some good annotation done today, and as it turns out that's not what we did. But that's okay. These things happen. I know what the problem is. I will go back and fix it, and it's just going to take some grumbling and doing. Thank you for joining me. I hope this was entertaining and hopefully useful. And we will be back on Wednesday for probably more machine learning type stuff. Maybe more Rasa X type stuff. We'll see. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a lovely weekend. I'll talk to you later.